Hi Virgo, welcome back to Saturn Secrets. This is your May 2021 tarot scope with a little bit of astrology peppered in. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular updates on both astrology and tarot. So Virgo, sorry to keep you waiting a little bit. Let's see what the cards have in store for you. For the most part, this month has a real shift in perspective for you in terms of what you want long term. You're thinking more along the lines of your career, your vocation, practical matters, your reputation. What you want your reputation to be. Page of Cups, especially if you're in a creative profession or you're pursuing something that was a big dream for you as a child. Or maybe your heart is longing a little bit more for some of those things you wanted as a child. The Page of Cups can sometimes indicate news of love as well. And for you, Virgo, with the new moon in Taurus in your 9th house, connecting with Pluto in your 5th, there could be, and also trining Neptune in your 7th, just an FYI, there could be an opportunity for you to meet somebody romantically that could be linked to travel. They could be abroad, they could be from a different religious upbringing, they could have a very different take on life philosophically, they could be the opposite of you in terms of how you view spirituality, faith, religion, that type of thing. So those are sort of possibilities around the new moon. There's a video going up, a special on that, so I will have your sign in there as well. And at the end of the month, we're going to have an eclipse in your 4th house of home and family. And just as I say that, the home and family card pops out, as if to say, yeah, that's significant for you. You're building new structures. This is interesting. A lot of you are designing a home, buying a home, considering these type of things, saving for a home, putting down a deposit on a home, or you are moving or relocating, or there's going to be significant news of a family member. Now, that is opposite the sun in your 10th house, and we're going to have a new moon in your 10th house next month. So, connecting back to the thoughts surrounding your career and your long-term achievements and your reputation. The star. I love that. I love the star. Who doesn't love the star? It's so beautiful. With Saturn still moving through your 6th, which is Aquarius, the more you are of service to others and the more you look after yourself on a physical and mental level, the more blessings you typically will attract under this transit. Jupiter is moving out of Aquarius. It's moving out of overdoing the work part. Jupiter can really expand your work. You could have a lot of clients, a lot of growth in small businesses or self-employment, soul trading, that sort of thing. But with the star card here, in terms of your aspirations, I think you're thinking quite big. 7 of Cups, King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, 2 kings, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Interesting indeed. Just move this selenite wand so I can give him some space as he suspends himself there. So the first thing that I'm sort of getting from this, Virgo, if you please, maybe somewhat of a request. Also, I'm fighting against the light. It is sunset, so maybe you can see this, maybe you can't. The first thing that I'm seeing from this is suspend your disbelief, whatever that means to you. I think it's in terms of a dream. I think it's in terms of an aspiration, a goal, a wish, a hope, faith in something. It's interesting, Virgo, as well, because we do have such an onus in Taurus season with that new moon in particular. It is so connected to faith. It's so connected to what you believe and what you aspire to and how you connect with a higher level of self. Now, this can be, in a practical sense, just when you're in a really good mood. You know, that's, to be honest, connection to the higher self can be simplified so much to being in a good mood, to being in a good place, to being in a good flow, receptivity. But with so much uncertainty in life, and particularly because if you've noticed in the last year in terms of conversation, some people are really quick to lean into that uncertainty. And I don't think it's that anybody does it maliciously. Oh, the candle just went out. I don't think that it's anybody does it maliciously. I think it's that people like to get comfort from others when they're feeling uncertain. And with the Two of Pentacles here, I kind of feel that for you. And in particular, I think that somebody who might be significant help for you this month could be someone who is an air sign, an Aquarius, a Libra, Gemini, or someone who is quite practical, intellectual, gives good business advice, gives logical advice, gives practical advice, and also doesn't necessarily tailor their words to save your feelings. And I think that it's very good to be, when you're dealing with someone who's going through a rough time or a tough time, it's important to be compassionate and to be kind. But the King of Swords, his best quality isn't necessarily tact. His best quality is honesty and giving you the detail, giving you what you need to know. And you can get that from air signs. They typically don't lean into the emotional in terms of conversation. They prepare you better by giving you words, giving you examples, giving you worst case scenario, best case scenario, all the options on the table, that kind of thing. That's good for you, especially because you're so much ruled by Mercury, which also rules Gemini. So if you're talking to Geminis this month, I think that they could probably give you some good advice because you're a bit confused, is what I'm sensing. Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Some of you are just not really sure about what you want, especially if it is to do with a goal, or some of you are just not so sure that you believe in it. And that's where suspend your disbelief comes in. Because if you did have that belief and you weren't leaning so much into that uncertainty, it may actually be something that's easier to spot when it appears, or something to consider. Because in terms of your goals, Virgo, another thing that I would get from these cards is just wait a little bit, because June, in terms of your career, your identity, your reputation, your title per se, all of that is going to be coming into a strange state of realignment. And I find with eclipses, they can really fall into place quite significantly. They can realign, is what I would say with this. And with the Hanged Man, it's almost like all you have to do at the moment is suspend disbelief, especially if it's to do with career, and also if it's to do with home and family. Suspend disbelief and get a little bit of clarity from someone who's a clear thinker. Seek out people that are clear thinkers this month. I actually just want to confirm that Hanged Man card for you, Virgo, and see what that is. Sometimes, yes, okay, so the Hanged Man, and believe it or not, the star ended up back underneath again. There's success coming for you in some capacity. I get the impression that it's delayed. So maybe this is a project in your life that you've been back and forward on, or an opportunity you've been back and forward on, or in terms of career direction, maybe you've been back and forward on what you want to do. With the Six of Cups and the Star, recognition and success is for sure something that's coming your way, but it might require you to suspend your disbelief, and it might also be some point of a confidence issue with you, Virgo. I have to say this, there could be some confidence in your life that's been knocked somewhat, because the King of Pentacles is in the middle. That's you in the middle of everything, in your hopes and fears. You're hopeful for success, but part of you is fearful of it. Part of you isn't so sure that you want it. Part of you isn't so sure you want the responsibility, you want the attention. It's not so sure you want to be seen that way. For some of you, there could be an inbuilt fear of success because you worry about being used. Or it could be a fear of losing your time, per se. You know, because Saturn going through the 6th house, sometimes Saturn is very restrictive. And with the 6th house, it's being your routine. You could fear how much your routine is going to be restricted. And some of you want, with that Two of Pentacles, more work-life balance. So maybe all you have to do is take back your time a little bit, and success can follow. I actually did see this meme earlier, and it was this man dressing himself up as a clown saying, if I just don't take my annual leave, if I just work overtime, if I just never complain, if I just go above and beyond, this corporation is sure to notice me. And he's dressing up as a clown. So maybe some of you actually just have to pull back, because I don't feel like I'm ever going to have to tell a Virgo to work harder. Do you? I don't think so. Okay. The King of Swords, let's clarify him. If you're dealing with an air sign, oh, straight out the bat, the Tower. Now, please bear in mind when I'm looking at the Tower card, especially if you're dealing with an Aquarius, because the star I can still see, it's literally shown up underneath again. The Tower is in the Tower, depending on where you're from. Over here, sometimes people say tar. This is just how I think I just deferred there. It can be a pleasant surprise, and it can also be, I have to say, you might be getting some hard truths from somebody in terms of advice, but it's a good thing. Somebody might be giving you some insane clarity, especially if it's an air sign, or this could be a mentor or a tutor. It could be that if you are slacking in some capacity or you're getting overwhelmed, somebody gives you a really stern talking to that just makes you completely understand what it is that you need to do. I think with the King of Swords in the Tower, it's about getting really clear on how you have not been asserting enough of a boundary in certain areas of life, or where you have been not setting yourself a boundary mentally. You know, letting your thoughts run ragged and letting them abuse you is sometimes the thing that comes up with the King of Swords, when you let your thoughts completely dominate you and tell you really nasty narratives and really nasty stories. So that's something to bear in mind. For others of you, you could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, with the Five of Pentacles underneath, but we will hop into the extended and go into that. For a lot of you, what I want to say as the recap here, you're going into a period where you just have to suspend your disbelief, because there is some kind of success around the corner for you, Virgo. Especially in terms of career and reputation. That's the main thing that I'm getting for this. And I see the Six of Wands as well, the number 6 month. So that is June. June is the 6th month. And we also have eclipses happening in your sector of career, which gives you that 6th month cycle. Quite hard to say. Sixth month cycle. It's tricky. It's also tricky to rock a rhyme. That's right on time. Let's hop into the extended. I will see you there, Virgo. Bye.